Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's so exciting to be here today. Did you all know that you all are a part of history? Did you know that? That on this very day, the decisions that you make concerning your world and the world that your children will live in, love in, and learn in, it's going to affect generations yet unborn. Yes, look around this room. Look around the room. Yes, look around the room. It's filled with people who care about the future, about a future where differences are celebrated, where people are welcomed and respected. The future is going to be bright because each one of you are committed to being the change that you want to see in the world. Is that right? Now, you know, I must love this organization and I must love this work to be standing here dressed as a future person. Yes. But I want to kind of shed my costume if that's okay with you. Is that all right? Because I want to share a story with you, and you're going to hear from other people who are committed to this work and why they love the Mosaic Project. When I was in the 4th grade, I was the chubby black girl, and my nickname was How Now, Brown Cow. Now, there was something about the rhythm of these words that was funny to my classmates, and I laughed with them, but it wasn't funny to me. Some days I was really popular, some days I wasn't. Some days I was invited to be a part of the lunchtime crowd, and some days I ate alone. And so elementary school was this really precarious experience for me, some days up, some days down, because I was growing up in a world without the Mosaic Project. My parents, my family, they all told me, as I'm sure all of you do, that your children are special and wonderful and amazing, but there's something about the power of the words of your peers that has an effect on you. Thankfully, I had a Mosaic Project moment, that's what I call it. A moment when I decided that I and my classmates were going to have to change. And it happened in the spring of my 4th grade year. A young man joined my class, and his name was Armando. And he came, in terms of my small hometown, from a place that was far, far away. It's called Mexico. Because we'd had so little exposure to this culture, he might as well have been from another planet. And I watched him try to fit in, and I watched him be isolated, and I just decided on my own I was going to be Armando's friend. And even though he couldn't speak a word of English, it was the funniest thing you ever saw. We just worked it out. You know, kids just work it out. And so I shared my lunch with him. He ate food he never thought he'd eat, I'm sure. I taught him how to play kickball, and he didn't really know how to run the bases. I just grabbed him by his shirt and just took him around. And, you know, we just played. We just made it work. And I also decided that the other kids in my class had to be nice to him, too. So we picked him to be on our team at recess. We invited him to play with us at lunchtime. Because I watched him, and I knew that we were, as I said, a part of a 4th grade class that didn't have the benefit of the Mosaic Project. Armando ultimately learned English, and I learned the language of compassion, of empathy. By 5th grade, Armando left our school. He had got a grasp of our school and the town, and on his last day with us, I ran into him. And he saw me, I saw him, and he came running toward me. I will never forget it. And he gave me a big hug. And he said, "Thank you. Thank you." And those 2 words were enough. It was a kindness that warms my heart to this day. So many years later, when I would meet Laura Mendel, and she would come in my office like some big rainbow of Skittles, you know, just colorful and full of energy. And, you know, she's like the Tasmanian devil, like, "Hi." And I'm like, "Whoa, hi." And she told me about her vision for the work. I knew that this work was important. It wasn't just important, it was going to be life-changing work because they're touching the hearts of children. And that's where the work has to begin. So, I committed to help her. And that's why we're gathered here today, because we care about this work. Is that true? Absolutely. And while we know that certainly one person can surely make a difference, imagine what a community of people, of which you are all a part, imagine what we could do. So repeat after me, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to ask for money. I know it makes us a little fidgety sometimes. You know, it's difficult, but we are undeterred. We love you. And we know that the personal commitment that's in this room can change the world. Peace is possible just because of you all that are here. Some people think big foundations fund this work. Other people think that, corporations who are like-minded fund the work. But in fact, it's people like you and me, your family members, your colleagues, the people that you talk to about the work. That's how we've gathered here today, no? Yes. So, individual donors, just so you'll know, last year collectively gave us twice as much money as any other revenue stream for our organization. So the power for our work to continue and to expand really is in this room. We understand that the economic winds of change are blowing, so much so that it could blow your pink wig off too. But the truth of the matter is that we can't put off planning for the future because we know that the decisions we make now really will impact our future. One life at a time, one reformed bully at a time, one empowered fifth grader at a time. Your donations, we like to talk about it as a rock on the pond of time, right? It sets in motion these ripples of information and understanding. And these ripples on the pond of time lead to acceptance and peace for generations to come. So you're not exactly just funding one child or one school or one program. You're empowering one child who's going to tell another child. And that child's home life is going to change. Or you're funding one school or sponsoring one school, and then that school is going to talk to another school about the power of the work, and then they're going to come up to camp. Or you sponsor one program, and then the people or the teachers that are a part of that tell their colleagues. And now funds are being reallocated within a school so that the culture of that school ultimately changes. This is the power of the work that we do. So as you heard earlier, you're all a part. Here's the big secret. Are you ready for it? Lean in. You ready for the big secret? This is a covert operation. Yeah, it is. Of intergalactic proportion. It's big stuff we're doing here today, and you're all a part of it now. And we have agents for peace and change all among you, and there could be one at your table. And you're going to be hearing from these agents of change as they tell you their story and why the Mosaic Project is important. So look out. You don't know who's at your table, but they're going to start popping up right now and telling you their story.